Hello and welcome. I'm the Big Shot Critic, and today we're going to save the world. There's something I've wanted to talk about for a long time, but I didn't know how, because I didn't know how to speak constructively about it. Movies are in bad shape. Hollywood is a disaster. Woke garbage fills everything. People don't like movies anymore. The goodwill of moviegoers is gone. Fans are in a never-ending war with the studios. Fans fight amongst themselves. When people think of movies, they don't think of the magic anymore. They think of the anger and the vitriol and the wokeness. I've talked about wokeness before on this channel, here and there, but I've never really faced up to it full force until now. As movie lovers, this affects all of us. And now is the time to stand up. My purpose here is to inspire action. Now is the time to stand up. Now is the time to speak up and speak out. Now is the time because for the first time in years, we can turn the tide. Real change is in sight if we act now. Movies can be great again. Movies can be magic again. To explain why we have this chance, I have to explain how this happened. To understand why we have this chance to make things right, you have to understand how things got so wrong. Wokeness can be such a vague term. I connected it to Marxism in a video from last year, and that's completely true, but there's more to it. I'm a little afraid to share it. But now is the time. I'm talking about movies and saying movies because this is a movie channel. But you're smart. You know wokeness isn't just in movies. It's in television, books, music, magazines, newspapers, advertisements, corporations, banks, governments, schools. It's everywhere. And I'm going to make an extremely important point right now. You need to accept the fact that this is by design. You need to accept the fact that this is not some faddish ideology running amok. This is intentional. This is organized. This is deliberate. If you have trouble accepting that, I'll ask you just one question. Why do all these organizations prioritize wokeness over profit? Every woke movie loses money. Every woke book doesn't sell. Every woke ad campaign doesn't work. Every woke newspaper loses readers. Every woke news channel loses viewers. It happens every single time. And they do it again and again and again. If you're honest with yourself, you know there's only one answer. This is social engineering. This is by design. So whose design? Why? And how did they get everyone on board? Well, the CEO of BlackRock has some answers for us. BlackRock is a capital investment firm, but that's something of an understatement. BlackRock has a significant stake in virtually every major corporation around the world. BlackRock is also known for being shady in every possible way. And here's what their CEO said.
It's just, you have to force behaviors. And if you don't force behaviors, whether it's gender or race or just any way you want to say the composition of your team, you're going to be impacted. And that's not recruiting, it is development, as Ken said.
How do you force change, though? I mean, Larry, BlackRock has really been in the forefront of the ESG movement within corporate governance and a real leader. And yet change is so slow. So what is, and Ken as well, how do you force change when it is so incremental and so gradual? How do you do something more radical? Have you thought about that? Has the board of American Express thought about more radical things we could do to enhance diversity and inclusion?
Because it has to be imbued in the culture of a firm. It has to be talked about, it has to be shown. Behaviors across the entire firm in every region have to be similar. And every citizen of the firm has to understand what is acceptable behaviors and what are unacceptable behaviors.
Control, force, acceptable behaviors and unacceptable behaviors. This is supposed to be a capital investment firm. What in the world are they doing talking about steering corporate culture? Why is it such a priority for them? Because profit is not their priority, social engineering is. And lending power is just one way to get someone on board. Look, I'm about to jump off a cliff of rabbit holes. And I'm doing it for one reason, and one reason only. That's because you deserve to know why movies have sucked so bad the last few years. This is a movie channel. I care about movies. I love movies a lot, and I want movies to survive. And we need your help. So here goes. Epstein Island. I can tell you right now why nobody on that list has been prosecuted. It's a honeypot operation. Those people are being blackmailed. Those people are active assets. Powerful and important people all over the world, and somebody has dirt on 99% of them. Who's doing the blackmailing? Who has the dirt? Well, who has the information and is not prosecuting? And don't think for a second that Epstein Island was the only honeypot operation running. Nearly every public figure around the world has been compromised or converted at this point. And when I say converted, I'm talking about places like Bohemian Grove. And if you haven't heard of Bohemian Grove, it's this very exclusive retreat where elites go and, well, let's be honest, worship Satan. Look, did you see the Grammys this year? Did you hear about Sam Smith's performance? The song was called Unholy, and he dressed up like Satan. Add that to the stuff going on at Epstein Island, to children, and we can stop pretending that Satanism among celebrities isn't a thing that is happening. Let's just accept it and respond accordingly. So that's how they control everyone for their social engineering. But why do they do it? Well, to control. Just listen to literally anything that Klaus Schwab says. These people are constantly talking about their precious New World Order. But how does wokeness in movies play into all this? How does that help them control anything? Wokeness is very unpopular. I said it myself. Woke movies always lose money. So how can wokeness in movies help them control? Thus, we arrive at the final puzzle piece. It's because wokeness is the opposite of classical Western ideals. Bravery, courage, individuality, strength, leadership, heroism, determination, persistence, hope, and faith. These are all qualities that make a man impossible to control. And that is why wokeness is all about victimhood, blame, anger, powerlessness, bitterness, resentment, pettiness, jealousy, and fear. These are all the qualities that make a man impossible to set free. The man who embodies these qualities is guaranteed to be imprisoned in his own mind, and he will be an ideal subject for any tyrant. This is why movies have sucked the last few years. Sucked. I am glad to have that off my chest. Now, I said at the beginning, I never brought this up before because I didn't know how to say anything constructive about it. And I also said that now is the time to stand up. I said that now we have an opportunity to turn all this around. And we do. Look around you. Everywhere you look, there is pushback against this evil. And let's be clear, it's evil. Bud Light and Target have lost billions in market value. They tried to cancel J.K. Rowling and her game sold like crazy. Just the other day, a streamer who plays Call of Duty said something like, "Leave the children alone," and Call of Duty canceled him. And now other streamers and most Call of Duty players are pushing back against Activision and Call of Duty because everyone is sick of this crap. June 2023 is the Pride-pocalypse. And then there's Disney. Their park attendance is down. Their woke movies always lose money. Disney Plus is losing subscribers by the million. Their Galactic Star Cruiser hotel is shutting down after less than 2 years. Indiana Jones 5 is a guaranteed flop. And now they owe Comcast billions of dollars that they don't have. These corporations are being destroyed by everyday people like you and me. People are standing up. People are speaking up. And as always, the corporations aren't listening, but they're dying. If you've thought about boycotting, then boycott. If something makes you uncomfortable, don't support it. If it feels wrong, don't participate. If you have something to say, say it. If you have an opinion to share, share it. If you feel unwelcome, leave. If a job asks you to change, change your job. And above all, if you think a change has to be made, you make that change. This is how we save movies. Movies can be great again, I know it. My gosh, I want that. It's going to take all of us. You have to be strong. You have to stand up. You have to be brave. You have to embody those ideals we talked about. This is our time. Now is our time. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. This has been a terrifying video to make, but I'm standing up. Join me. Subscribe. Bye-bye.